So are the Gandhis losing control of the Congress? Has the high command culture in a way been challenged by Mr. Gehlot and his supporters? Is Gehlot fighting his last political battle in a way? Joining me now is Rahul Srivastava, our National Affairs Editor. Sanjay Jha, who should be supered as suspended Congress leader. More than anything else, he remains a congressman at heart, he says. Rashid Kidwai is author and political commentator, wrote a book, 24 Akbar Road, on the Congress. And Shehzad Poonawalla is the BJP spokesperson, was once with the Congress. So all three of you at least have a solid Congress connection. Let's turn to you, Mr. Jha, first, because there will be those at the moment who will say that in the Congress what we are seeing is one self-goal after the other that has only suggested how weak and some would say inept the Congress leadership has become, that you can't even enforce your writ on Jaipur. How do you respond?
Well, Rajdeep, when you have remained fossilized for a long period of time, you can't suddenly bloom like a flower. It takes time. And clearly the Congress is at the moment, bitten several bullets at the same time. You have a Bharat Jodo Yatra that is occupying a lot of resources of the party in terms of time and investment of people. Plus you have the presidential elections happening, and then you have the Himachal and Gujarat, very critical elections in my opinion. So I do believe that somewhere down the line, the entire Rajasthan episode basically is once again a very, shall we say, harsh reminder of the fact that the Congress party is today paying a price for several years of complete atrophy and lethargy. The writing on the wall on Rajasthan was known long time ago. The battle between both Mr. Pilot and where Mr. Gehlot is concerned has been brewing since the very time that Mr. Gehlot became Chief Minister for the third time. And I think that is the reason why the Congress today is having, its cup of woes overflowing. But going forward, I do believe that end of day, the Congress has an opportunity, a historic opportunity, because I remain an eternal optimist, Rajdeep, that as darker gets the night, it emits a brighter ray. So if the Congress today has to really bite the bullet, they should do so now. And the one way to do that will be to send out a message that anybody playing an internal rebellion within the party needs to be shown the door. It doesn't matter.
Sanjay Jha, are you serious? You believe that the Congress should show a door to Ashok Gehlot and bring in Sachin Pilot in a way as Chief Minister, even though the majority of the MLAs that you just heard don't want Pilot? They say Mr. Pilot is a TV neta. You've written columns, for example, saying make Sachin Pilot and Priyanka Gandhi Vadra as the faces of the Congress. The MLAs are very different. Please, sometimes you seem to actually believe that Sachin Pilot is the one who should be the Chief Minister, and you're saying Ashok Gehlot should be shown the door. Is that what you're saying?
I do believe that Mr. Gehlot, after what has transpired in Rajasthan, does not deserve to be the Congress president. Let me say so with full responsibility on your program, and I say so despite knowing many people within the Congress who will agree with me and not say so publicly. But I do hope the Congress does not allow him to get away scot-free. As far as Sachin is concerned, Rajdeep, you are a veteran, you know it. Power is a glue, not just in the Congress, in every political party. Now, between 2017, till the elections, when Sachin played an instrumental role in the Congress comeback, I can tell you this, Mr. Gehlot, when he got the green signal from the High Command to be a Chief Minister, everybody who was an MLA, and Sachin worked very hard to get the party back, they flocked to him. You make Sachin Pilot the Chief Minister, they will go to him within 2 weeks' time. They will sing a different tune. You saw that in Punjab. The moment Navjot Singh Sidhu and Charan Singh Chani came, nobody was backing Amrinder Singh despite Amrinder Singh being Chief Minister for 5 years. Okay. That's unfortunately the political morality of our times. So the truth is that today all those who are saying Mr. Gehlot, because for 4 years he's been the Chief Minister, he's used his powers to obviously distribute goodies all over the place. So there is no loyalty. I don't think it's got anything to do with principles. Sachin deserves to be the Chief Minister. And let me share something else with you on your show. Sachin was assured by the Congress High Command in 2017 that he would be made Chief Minister within a year or a year and a half. So there are a lot of issues behind the scenes, and I do believe that today, if elections are held under Mr. Gehlot's leadership, Shehzad Poonawalla's party will romp home, because there is a need for a change of leadership. Sachin is the man of the moment for the Congress party. But this indiscipline on Mr. Gehlot, I don't think the Congress should ignore it.
Shehzad Poonawala, you want to respond? It's being posited as indiscipline of Mr. Gehlot. You heard Mr. Khachariyawas saying, look, the High Command cannot impose its will on MLAs. How do you see this? Is this a challenge to the Congress High Command, or really the emergence of a democracy within the Congress where even MLAs are saying we will decide who our Chief Minister is?
We are only missing your Neta Nagri anchor Saurabh on the show, but we have all the elements of that. And let me begin with the Sahir Ludhianvi Pankti. कभी खुद पे कभी हालात पे रोना आया, बात निकली तो हर एक बात पर रोना आया. Rajdeep, first of all, let me tell you, as a BJP spokesperson, I have no business to comment on what is the internal affairs of the Congress, but the reason why we are here is because we are troubled that this government, which was born in the womb of instability, has continued to push the state of Rajasthan into political instability and has taken it down the path of complete chaos, whether it's the rising rapes, rising riots, or the policy of appeasement, or the other things that are going wrong within Rajasthan, and their only focus is on Satta Bachao, not on Rajasthan Bachao in that sense. Now, coming to the point that you're answering, there are three clear messages, Rajdeep, from the things that we have seen, and including hearing Sanjay Jha. Sanjay Jha, I think it was a slip of tongue when he says that now Mr. Gehlot should be prevented at any cost from becoming the president of the party. How is this a democratic election that was taking place? Look, if you look at it objectively, Mr. Gehlot has tried to do what is best for the party, in his opinion, in Rajasthan. So if anything, he has been loyal to the party, perhaps not to the family. And by this logic, because he is not loyal to the family, he should not be contesting the so-called election. Let me tell you, Rajdeep, what exactly this was. This was never an election to begin with. This was about the Parivar imposing their remote control as an Adhyaksh. The remote control, who was supposed to be the remote control, took out the batteries in Jaipur, and the remote control wanted his remote control to be put as the Chief Minister of Rajasthan. So this is all a fight of remote control going out of control. Jaipur का remote control चाह रहे थे ये राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष बने, राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष के चक्कर में इन्होंने जयपुर का बैटरी निकाल दिया. This is the point.
It's very interesting you're saying all this about remote control on a day when the reports are coming in that JP Nadda.
I knew you'd bring it up.
No, I'll bring it in. JP Nadda is likely to be selected for another term. So when the BJP selects a party president, that's democracy. That 2.5 people in your party select the president, that's democracy. But when the Congress High Command decides to choose Sachin Pilot as the leader, you suddenly say, oh, this family is anti-democratic. Come on.
It's happening.
What's the difference? Yes, please do.
And I hope you won't interrupt me. First of all, let's address the source-based news which was reflected on Aaj Tak India today. When there is an election here, as you must have seen in the last election cycle, and Rahul Srivastav is sitting here, the term of the president of the Bharatiya Janata Party is for 3 years. But when you go into an election cycle like 2019 or 2024, you can't have a membership drive. In that time, the national executive and the parliamentary board, if they decide to extend the tenure of the president so that it can continue to the election, and then after that the election process begins. So that doesn't mean Mr. Nadda has been selected, appointed, re-elected. That is not the case.
Are you serious that Mr. Nadda was elected? Are you serious that Mr. Nadda was elected or selected by Amit Shah and Narendra Modi? Let's be honest.
Rajdeep, can I answer? You know, I have got a... do you believe in Aaj Tak's reportage at least, if not me? Here is Aaj Tak's reporter, Navneet Mishra, who's written a very detailed piece about how elections are conducted in the BJP under Article 19 when an electoral college is elected from the booth, mandal, style, right up to the district and to the Pradesh level, and then that entire data is sent to the election commission. Elections are held, and in fact, in the last 24 years...
Who chooses the BJP president?
The people of BJP, who the electoral college of the BJP chooses. Okay. If there is a unanimous election, however, then there might be one candidate, so it's obvious that...
So you're saying there's no selection, there's election. But let's...
1 second, now let me come to... because a couple of times you interrupted me. Let me come to the main point that I want to make. There are 3 clear signals from what has happened the last 24 hours. 1, that this was a farce of an election, and I must use this platform to give my condolences to Shashi Tharoor, who still believes this is an election. 2, the limited political credibility and capital that Gandhis had, even amongst their darbaris, is now at a rock bottom. Perhaps it's gone extinct even while the cheetahs are back. And 3, look at this kind of exercise that is being done, and it is being done because this is the policy that Gandhi family has been using for a very long time. Let me just explain to you. Punjab, they made factions fight. Chhattisgarh, they made factions fight. Karnataka, DKS versus Siddaramaiah. You see the same thing in Maharashtra. You see the same thing from Gujarat and Hardik versus Bharat Singh Solanki. Hardik has obviously come out. In Madhya Pradesh, Kamal Nath versus Jyotiraditya ji came out. In Assam, Mr. Gogoi and Hemanta Biswa Sarma ji, came out. This is because the Congress party's first family has so little capital that the only way it could stay in power is divide and rule. And now this same policy has come to finish them in that sense politically, even in Rajasthan.
You're making an interesting observation about the way the Congress has, in a way,
it's a Kabila wala party.
Okay, it's got it wrong in several states, lots of self-goals. Let's put out some of those. The self-goals and the people behind those self-goals. Remember Punjab. It started last year, where just a few months before the elections, the Congress decided Amrinder Singh had to go. Guess what they did? They brought in Charanjit Singh Channi. There you had the people who are being accused to be in charge, the change of guard, who's being responsible for the mess in Rajasthan, K.C. Venugopal, MP from Rajasthan. He's actually from Kerala. He's the Congress Secretary Organization. Mallikarjun Kharge, 80 years old, told me this morning he flew in urgently from Gulbarga to attend this CLP at the last moment. Ajay Makan, who is from Delhi, who was there as charge of General Secretary, they couldn't get their act together. Punjab, as I said, lost the assembly polls. K.C. Venugopal, Harish Rawat, Harish Chaudhary, they suddenly changed the Chief Minister of Rajasthan, of Punjab. Amrinder Singh got that wrong as well. Goa, 8 out of 11 MLAs have joined the BJP. K.C. Venugopal is again organizational chief. Dinesh Gundu Rao is the state in charge. He tried his best, Mr. Gundu Rao, but was not good enough. But we'll put all the various self-goals they've scored. And Rashid Kidwai, when we can put all those self-goals, and some of those also were mentioned by Shehzad, Assam, Hemanta Biswa Sarma versus Tarun Gogoi, Jagan Mohan Reddy leaving the Congress in Andhra Pradesh is another one I'll put in there. Is there something wrong with this party and the way it manages politics now, particularly the Gandhis?
Absolutely, Rajdeep. When a party is not winning, when you lose so many elections, this is the political authority of the leadership gets undermined, and the Congress in this sense has not been an exception. But what do you say to this calculated act of perfidy when a CLP meeting is called by the leader of the Congress Legislative Party? The MLAs tend to speak at another forum, but they don't come to the CLP where they could have aired the same views and shown the same kind of number games. And this is unprecedented. This has not happened in the history of Congress Party.
I am asking you, these errors after errors, these lack of accountability, there seems to be a lack of accountability from Punjab to Rajasthan to Assam to Andhra Pradesh. In every state where the Congress gets it wrong, who's accountable?
We can go on blaming the Gandhis till the cows come home. But what I'm saying is, it's at multiple layers. Look at the inept handling of all those managers, party managers you are saying. Look at the act of, you see, the Congress have been saying, unlike 1977 or 69 or 1996, the Congress has not seen any major split. It is an assembly of people who are happy to be unhappy, and therefore they keep playing games. And of course, when we talk about Gandhi, the style of functioning of Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi is not always very consistent. So sometimes they work at variance. In this case, perhaps a case was there to issue a show cause notice, whereas Sonia Gandhi seems to be making an effort to bring Ashok Gehlot home or give him a chance. So all these things are there. So once something goes wrong in a political party, it's not this thing of a single factor. There are a number of factors that are at play.
Okay, that you're saying there are a number of factors. Is it therefore, Rahul Srivastava, that the political managers are missing? There's no Ahmed Patel-like figure. Instead, you've got people like K.C. Venugopal, who is clueless about the Hindi heartland. I mean, here is someone from Kerala, one-time MP, put in charge of Congress General Secretary Organization. Ashok Gehlot, why should he listen to a K.C. Venugopal?
Yes, Rajdeep. I think the crisis is multi-layered. It's like an onion which you start peeling, and you find that there are so many crises. The first issue which we are been talking about, why did the Congress actually initially pick Ashok Gehlot to be the presidential candidate? Ashok Gehlot has a wonderful CV. If you look at it, he was the first rally, one of the first rallies after the emergency was lifted in 1977, Indira Gandhi's rally. One of the organizers was Ashok Gehlot. Rajiv Gandhi's election agent, Amethi for the first time, Ashok Gehlot. 1971 war, a Shardarthi camp in charge, Ashok Gehlot. So Ashok Gehlot has been there, done it. But I think the most qualifying element was trust. And that one trust element was helping him to become the president of the Congress party. But he wanted, in a show of strength, tell the Congress High Command that I want Rajasthan to be given to somebody who I want to. So he virtually created the spectre of a split by forcing MLAs to go into a party, creating some kind of a resignation drama in which resignations are not taken on a signature campaign like a signature campaign. Your MLA has to sign on a proper format. Most of the MLAs I have spoken to say they were made to sign on a piece of paper. Now, all this has been orchestrated to push the High Command, the same High Command which was actually taking Ashok Gehlot to the Kohinoor of the Congress party, the Congress president's post. And that is why what one will say, it's not just a lack of managers. I think it's multiple crises within the Congress party which is playing out. I think the authority of the top brass has gone down. Also, the regional satraps are not fighting for tomorrow. They are living on today. And that is why if you see the records of, like a lot of people are saying, congressmen are saying, that Ashok Gehlot did not know about what was happening. Rajdeep, you check if somebody checks the call records of 11 to 12 MLAs who actually reached the CM's residence yesterday evening, it will be easy to find who was calling them and telling them not to go inside the CM's house, but to go to Mr. Dhariwal's house. A lot has transpired in the Congress party in Rajasthan, and I think that one-line resolution which has to be passed, that we authorize the Congress president to decide the fate of Congress in Rajasthan. If the Congress is not able to enforce that in the coming days, I think the Congress's top brass's authority will never be the same again.
You know, you're saying that because we are getting breaking news that Kamal Nath has been, in a way, asked to try and broker a peace with Ashok Gehlot. When I spoke to him today, I asked him, would you be an alternative to Ashok Gehlot as Congress president? He said, I don't want to be Congress president. So you actually have a situation, Sanjay Jha, no one wants to be Congress president. I mean, imagine this is a post which has been seen over the years as the mightiest post in the Congress. Now Kamal Nath, Ashok Gehlot, Bhupinder Singh Hooda, all of them prefer to be in their states rather than even become Congress president. What does it say about the way the party is? The Gandhis don't want to take it over. Rahul Gandhi is doing a yatra. Sonia Gandhi is, has been struggling with her health. Priyanka Gandhi Vadra suffered a big defeat in Uttar Pradesh. So there is a vacuum. You don't have leadership. You don't have political managers. How are you going? This is not going to get resolved in a hurry.
Rajdeep, a very pertinent question, but factually there is Shashi Tharoor is definitely putting his hat in the ring, and there are many aspirants, by the way. And I can tell you this, despite the fact that many people have left the Congress party for the BJP and other players, the truth is the party is not short on talent. And I can cough up names. I don't want to do that. But let me make two quick points here. That the damaging narrative for the Congress created by this entire Rajasthan gridlock, if I can use that charitable term, somebody needs to be held responsible for this. You see, the Congress under Rahul in particular over the last couple of years has had a situation of so much of lethargy and atrophy that people haven't been quick in taking decisions. Now, I'll give you an example. Any leader who does an internal revolt and is doing so, I think when a matter so blatant, if there are no consequences for it, you are actually going to make the entire party's workers, those who actually are the true loyalists of the party, feel so demoralized. You can't just lionize Ashok Gehlot as Rahul mentioned about his great CV, his history. You're over. That great CV has got no relevance today. All Mr. Gehlot stands for is that today he's embarrassed the Congress party when Rahul, and no matter how much, very serious flack Rahul Gandhi has taken, even his worst critics will have to admit that he is doing something fairly extraordinary in the Bharat Jodo Yatra. And I think this is the time for the Congress to really crack the whip. And it can be done. And okay. I'll give you an example. And I'll tell you this. Sachin Pilot, if he is not becoming the Chief Minister of Gujarat, of Rajasthan, he should be putting his candidature for the role of the Congress president. You know, it is time that the Congress put all its best talent in play. And one quick point for Mr. Poonawalla, because he keeps taking these, you know, very C-grade Bollywood dialogue jibes of the Congress. So I need to tell him, because he's not aware, but the great Mr. Narendra Modi and his cabinet Shehzad made PPT presentations to the RSS biggies in Nagpur. So please do not ever talk about family and remote control. You have no moral right to even make a singular observation on the Congress party.
Yes,
Pipe down.
You can, that you have, your remote control lies in Nagpur,
Right.
theirs may lie at 10 Janpat. Your remote control lies in the Prime Minister's office, theirs may
Rajdeep,
lie with the Congress President's office.
Rajdeep, every second day you are doing a story as to how Narendra Modi has emerged outside the RSS and the RSS ki bhi nahi sunte hain, and then there is a story that we go and report to the RSS. Just like there is civil society consultation and you have been a big advocate of it, is RSS not an important civil society organization? And the NAC, which could be given the constitutional recognition, is okay, but if we tell or consult with various civil society groups, we are at fault. But anyways, that's not the issue today, and I don't want to get sidetracked, because some can be suspended in logic, some can be suspended in party position. So which one out of those two, we'll leave it to the panelists. But let me tell you the two structural issues that persist in the Congress. One, the Congress is no longer a party. It is a kabila. It is a private limited company. Why is Mr. Ashok Gehlot or anybody else doesn't have the attraction for the position of the Congress president? Because under Mahatma Gandhi's time, it was a party that functioned on certain principles and certain ethics and certain policies. Today, it is pad above party. It is Satta above Janta, it is Neta above Niti, and finally it is Parivar above performance. And therefore nobody wants to become a captain of a sinking ship. Secondly, let me tell you what is the structural issue in the Congress. The Congress has become unacceptable for any person outside the Gandhi domain unless he promises that I will remove my spinal cord and I will stand in front of you. Look at what Congress has done to every non-Gandhi leader of some stature, and especially regional leaders. They have completely forced them out of the party. Even the last leader that they had in the form of Ghulam Nabi Azad, or now Mr. Ashok Gehlot, is being forced out of this party because the Parivar, which has no political capital, it can't even win its own bastion in Amethi, has to find a seat in Wayanad, is trying to impose its writ on these people. And by the way, if this is democracy, why aren't you listening to your leaders in Rajasthan Assembly? Secondly, what if the election nomination has not been filed by Ashok Gehlot? Before that you are having a CLP. How did you know what would be the outcome of the so-called election, sir? These are all the telltale signs that this is not a party, it is a one family entity. And let us stop kidding ourselves that this is any kind of political party. This is a parivarik firm. Nobody wants to head it, because if you don't have the Gandhiwada title, you count for nothing.
Okay. Shehzad Poonawalla is on a roll. Remember, Shehzad Poonawalla was once in the Congress. And I often say those who have moved from one party to the other often tend to be even more aggressive about their original party. And Mr. Poonawalla may well be an example of that.
Let me just explain that with Sahir Ludhianvi's lines.
एक बार फिर साहिर लुधियानवी.
Last two lines of his.
चलिए कर लीजिए.
कौन होता है जो और किसी के खातिर रोता है दोस्त, सबको अपनी ही किसी बात पे रोना आया. So this is a question of Congress party not realizing what has gone wrong. I said it 5 years ago. I wish they would have understood. They would have not been in the situation they are.
You are giving my friend Rahul Srivastava, who is the original Shire here, a lot of competition by quoting Sahir Ludhianvi. I don't know how Sahir will respond to what you've said, but main Shire to nahi. For now, Congress needs more than just poetry. It actually needs to work in prose and get its act together, particularly in Rajasthan. Another make or break moment that the Congress has faced in recent times. Thanks very much to all my guests for joining me on that.